Technology is often cast as the sleep villain, the flashy saboteur that sneaks into your bedroom disguised as entertainment, productivity, or connection, and leaves you staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m. with dry eyes and existential dread. And to be fair, the evidence isn't flattering. Screens emit melatonin-blocking blue light, social media hijacks dopamine loops, and bingeable content turns one more episode into oops, it's morning. But here's the twist. Technology isn't just the antagonist in the sleep story. In many cases, it's also trying very hard to be the hero. From sleep tracking apps to smart alarms to blue light filters, tech has launched an entire industry promising better, smarter rest. The question is, are these tools genuinely helping us reclaim our sleep, or just giving us fancier ways to obsess over how tired we are? Let's start with sleep trackers. Whether worn on the wrist, ring finger, or built into your mattress, these gadgets monitor movement, heart rate, and sometimes even skin temperature and breathing. They then spit out neat-looking graphs of your sleep stages, duration, and efficiency. In theory, this is great, finally, a way to see your sleep and make data-driven decisions. But in practice, things can get murky. Most consumer-grade trackers can't directly measure brainwaves, which are the gold standard for determining actual sleep stages. Instead, they infer these stages from motion and heart rate variability, which is a bit like guessing someone's mood based on how loudly they're typing. Useful sometimes, wildly inaccurate others. The result? You may start distrusting your own sleep based on numbers that aren't always reliable. This can trigger what sleep specialists now call orthosomnia, a modern sleep disorder where people become so obsessed with perfect sleep data that they actually sleep worse. Imagine lying in bed at night, worrying that your app will say you didn't sleep enough, even as you're actively losing sleep worrying about it. The irony is brutal, but real. Instead of feeling rested, people wake up more anxious, fixated on graphs, and trying to optimize something their body actually does best when left alone. Then there are smart alarms, which claim to wake you at the ideal time in your sleep cycle, usually during lighter stages of sleep, when grogginess is minimized. The science here is more promising. Waking during deep sleep feels like being hit by a truck, while waking from lighter stages leads to better alertness. But again, accuracy matters. If your device can't reliably track sleep cycles, your smart alarm might be little more than a glorified guess with a chirpy tune. Still, for many people, even the placebo of feeling more in control of their wake-up process makes a difference. Now, let's talk blue light filters, the gateway drug of sleep tech. These filters, whether built into phones, glasses, or screen apps, reduce exposure to the specific wavelengths of light known to suppress melatonin. They help signal to your brain that night is approaching, which should, in theory, make sleep easier. But here's the catch. Blue light is only half the problem. The other half is content. You can have the best blue light filter on earth, but if you're doom scrolling headlines, replying to work emails, or playing high adrenaline games, your brain isn't winding down, it's winding up. Filters might soften the physiological signal that it's still daytime, but they do nothing for the psychological stimulation that keeps you wide-eyed in bed. They can help, but they're not a license to stare at glowing rectangles until midnight and expect to fall asleep the moment you put them down. And while we're here, let's not forget meditation apps and sleep soundscapes, some of which do offer tangible benefits. For people with racing thoughts or bedtime anxiety, guided breathing or white noise can be calming. These tools don't just distract you. They can condition the brain to associate certain sounds or routines with sleepiness, like Pavlov for grown-ups. The key is consistency. One relaxing bedtime session won't fix years of poor sleep hygiene. But as part of a calming routine, these apps can be allies, if you're not glued to your phone until the second you pass out. So, is technology saving or destroying our sleep? The honest answer: it's doing both. It all comes down to how you use it. Tech becomes the villain when it intrudes on the natural rhythms of sleep, when the last thing you see at night and the first thing you see in the morning is a screen. When your tracker becomes a guilt engine, or your evening scroll devolves into a doom spiral, or you need to check one more thing, and suddenly it's tomorrow. But when used mindfully, technology can support sleep. It can help you understand your patterns, improve your wake-up routine, reduce mental clutter, and remind your brain when it's time to unwind. It's just not a magic pill. No gadget, no matter how expensive, can outcompete your basic habits: a consistent bedtime, a dark and quiet room, a mind that knows when to shut off. The biggest risk is that people outsource too much of their sleep responsibility to their devices. You can't biohack your way out of poor boundaries, screen addiction, or chronic overwork. You can't fix burnout with a ring that glows green. If you want better sleep, the solution isn't to throw out all your tech, but to learn when to turn it off. Because sometimes the most high-tech sleep aid is still the oldest one of all: silence.